In a situation where you're trying to find out if a prospect is noticing the trend that you're talking about,
yeah,
I noticed that you recommend, hey, are you seeing this? Like asking them kind of the yes or no question. But I also think at one point you gave an alternate idea of just jumping right to, how are you guys dealing with this? And kind of give them the opportunity to refute that. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's on the portal. EastonUniversity.com. Shameless plug for the ESP Course 01. That's where Nico is. I don't believe I said, are you seeing this? If I did, ignore it. Jump to the second piece that you said and go right to, how are you dealing with this? Never, ever, ever ask somebody, hey, Barrett, is that something that you're seeing? Or, hey, Dean, are you seeing this? Because people lie. And they're not going to be honest about their problems, right? Let's say I'm trying to sell flooring to Dean. And I say, hey, Dean, something that not a lot of people are talking about is with the laminate flooring, it's cheaper, it's great, and it's gotten way better in terms of the eyeball can't even really tell the difference now. But the tongue and groove, the connectors on that, they're not great. They're not up to standards, and the product is cheaper, the product's easy to replace, but then once you have one of your maintenance people or one of your flooring professionals try and actually replace a board, they're spending 2 to 3 times what they would spend replacing that single board. All your profit's gone. Is that something you're seeing, Dean? Dean might have 452 units of apartments. He's not going to admit that. But if I say, Dean, how are you dealing with that? Well, I mean, we try and have great people. When you say you have great people, you mean your maintenance team's there? Yeah. So how are you, I'm assuming that they have other things that they need to do as well. Yeah, true. What are you paying in terms of a maintenance guy per year? Man, they're coming in now at $90,000, right? Even 10 years ago, you get a maintenance person for $55,000. Yeah, totally. That's why I had reached out to you. I just want to make sure you are aware of that. If you are ordering that product, you are saving, absolutely. Mohawk and Shaw is saving money for you on that. You are spending it back in returns when you've got your guys out there at $95,000 a year trying to get those grooves right in the right place, right? Hey, you know what? We do have a product. It is, full disclosure, it's 20% more, but they're going to be able to just slide those in. There's not even an overlap procedure. They just be able to slide it in, lock and go. We actually call it our lock and go product. So it makes sense for me to get a quote on that, maybe run a split test on the next 40 or 50 units that you do so that you can see how easy it is labor-wise to do the maintenance on that, right? No. Dean says, no. Cool. What have I just set myself up for? Net outcome statement. No problem, Dean. I will be here when you need a product that's going to match what you're paying for in your labor and installation. Fair enough? And now I've just, boom, C4. Right? Dynamite, whatever you want to call it. I just had B.A. Baracus from the A-Team. Hey, fool, plant some dynamite under Dean's desk. Because the next time Dean thinks about his payroll bill, he's going to remember me and go, you know what, that guy was pretty cool, and he did have a way for me to shave some hours off of my maintenance. So we're not going to say, is that something you're seeing? Because they're going to lie. We're going to say, how are you dealing with that? Then they have to give us an answer. And if the answer is, I don't have to deal with it, we're going to be able to gracefully say, thank God. Right? I'll be honest, I've talked to 47 people this month alone about it. You are the first one that's not having to deal with it. That I'm not trying to be sarcastic. That is amazing. I will be here when you get to a point where your labor costs are just to the point where they're really, really making it challenging for the organization. Because I believe we've got a way, when you're ready, that we can shave the labor costs on floor installations by about 35%, which typically runs per installation around $2,300. I'll be here when you need that $2,300 back. And then get off the phone. And then Dean's going, shit, I just walked away from $2,300 per install, and I've got 450 apartments, right? That's how we're doing it with the how are you dealing with it.